Okay, sixth graders, I know you got to be excited to see me. Working through some of this data stuff, we're now on lesson 13.7 on page 745. Today we're going to talk about distribution. Looking at the first activity on page 745, it asks at least 20 students in the school how many pets they have, and it says record your results in a frequency table like the one that's shown. So look in your book on page 745, you see a pet survey, and then you've got number of pets, and then it's followed by the frequency. So, and then goes from 0 to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hopefully, they don't have more than 4 pets. And then on the frequency, where did I get the data from? I'll be darned. Well, let's just say that 0, I'm using hash marks. As we count them up, there were 2 people, and this one will give 3. Down here we'll give them 2, and I guess there was somebody that's got 4 pets. It's a lot of dog food. So, out of this data chart, that basically is giving you the frequency of how many pets out of 20 people. See, we've got 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it said there were 20 students. So, we're just going to double everything here. Because you got to have, you surveyed 20 people, you got to have 20 answers, right? And we do now. 4, 8, 14, 18, 20. So 20 people, and out of those 20 people, 4 of them said don't have any pets. 4 of them have 1 pet. 6 of them have 2. 4 of them have 3, and 2 of them have 4. So 4, 4, 6, 4, 2. Okay, so now you got some data. What do you do with it? Who cares? I bet that's what you're thinking. Mr. Fike, who cares? I'll never use this ever in my life. Well, you will. You'll see. Anyhow, what kind of statistical question can you ask based on the data you have here? Think of all the different things that we've learned about understanding statistics. You might want to ask, well, what is the mean? What's the average number of pets that any one of these students might have? You might want to know what the range. And what would be the range between the lowest point and the highest point? So the range would be 3, wouldn't it? 4 minus 0 is 4. What's the mean? Well, we've got 20, and we've got 5 different measurements. So 20 divided by the 5, the mean would also be 4. Maybe you want to know what the median is. And in order to find the median, you got to line up your numbers. 2, 4, 4, 4, 6. Interesting how this one's working out. Because your median, the middle number, the median is also 4. You might want to know what the mode is. What's the mode? The mode is the number that appears most frequently. And so let's just quickly build a dot plot here. And we're going to start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And at 0, we've got 4. At 1, we've got 4. At 2, we've got 6. At 3, we've got 4. And at 4, we've got 2. So looking at our dot plot, see how easy that was? You guys are so good at this stuff now. The one that occurs most frequently is right here, 6. So that means you can pretty well predict that most people are going to have 2 pets because that's what occurred most frequently. Anyhow, those are some of the statistical questions you can ask based on that little exercise there on page 745. Let's go on to the next page and see what other kind of things I can come up with to mess up your brains going into this nice weekend. What is on 746? Oh boy. Sorry. On 746, it wants you to find the mean, the median, the mode, that interquartile range, and the range of that data that we had just collected. Now, you can create your own data set. Just remember, you got 20 participants in the 5 different categories of that frequency chart. And then, go ahead, challenge yourself. Find the mean, median, the mode, the interquartile range. You're going to have to build a box plot. Really exercise your brain. That'll be a good challenge for you. If you can do that, then I'm pretty confident you've got this down. On page 748, problem number 6. It gives you a dot plot. And it's a number of songs that are bought online. Jason collected data about the number of songs his classmates bought online over the past 3 weeks. Does the data set have symmetry? Remember we talked about symmetry? A graph that goes like this has no symmetry. There's nothing you can do to prove to me that that's symmetric on any level. But when you look at this data plot, it very nicely goes up in a sweeping motion, goes down in a sweeping motion. That has symmetry. If I drew a line down the middle of it and folded it in half on top of itself, it would almost be exactly the same. So, generally speaking, yes, that does have symmetry. What else can we do here? Let's take on number 9. Number 9 on 748, because I always like to do the think smarter problems with you. Diego collected data on the number of movies seen last month by a random group of people. So we're going to draw a box plot. And that number line is going to go from looking at the number set. The biggest number is 12. The smallest number is 0. So smallest number is 0. The biggest number is 12. And we'll go up by 1 increment in between. So the middle of this is going to be 6. You got 1, 2, 3. Well, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, now our data set, let's get it up here. We got 1, 0. And it looks like there are 2 1s. And there is 1. Ooh, there's 2 zeros. Don't miss any numbers, kids. 2 1s. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. Four 2s, and there's 1, 2, 3 3s, and the next number is a 5, and then a 12. Now, looking at that list of numbers, what would you call that 12? Much bigger than the rest of the numbers, more than twice as big as the next biggest number. So 12 is an outlier, and it's going to skew this data a little bit. Anyhow, our range. Let's do that first. What's the range of this data set? The range goes from 0 to 12, so it's 12 minus 0 is 12. So our range is 12. What's our median? We're going to need that to build the dot plot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. As luck would have it, it's an odd number. Count over 6, 2, 4, 6, and the middle number is 2. So our median is 2. So let's put a dot on 2. That's our median. Now, what do we got to do next? They want us to find the interquartile range. So now, in order to find the interquartile range, you look at the numbers left and right of the median. And here we've got 1 and 0. 1 and 0 divided by 2 is 0.5. It's half. Now here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These two middle numbers are going to be what we have to average, and it's 15. 7 and 8 is 15. Divided by 2 is 7.5. So there's our box plot. Now, What it wants from us is the interquartile range. And the range is between the lowest number and the highest number. So we've got 7.5 minus 0.5. That means our range, interquartile range, is 7. See, that wasn't so hard. I hope you guys are really getting into this because, this is really kind of fun stuff because it really tickles your brain, makes you have to think, makes you have to remember. And the only way you remember all of these processes is by doing them, by practicing the problems, by screwing the problem up so bad that you just throw the book across the room. And then coming back when the light goes on and you go, wait a minute. I didn't need the mean, I needed the median. Now I can figure it out. Anyhow, you guys have a good weekend. Next weekend, next week we've got maybe one more lesson before we get to the unit wrap up. We're almost done with your math. Whew. So let's call it a day. Take care of yourself, stay safe, stay out of trouble, be kind to people. Talk to you Monday.